welcome back to Fixing Things. Today we're going to be fabricating. And I have this big piece of metal here. This is the frame off of the me-haul truck. I know I promised you that we'd be working on the me-haul truck this week, but it's rainy and cold outside. And the arthritis in my back says no. So I got the heaters pumping in here. Got a heater over here pumping in here. This thing is working great. Oh, yeah. I just turned the stuff on and it's working great. So what are we going to do? Well, you already read the description, right? Or you wouldn't have turned it on. But here's my lift, right? And here's my dilemma. My wife's motorcycle. My wife's motorcycle sits this far off the ground and it leaks oil. So what I want to do is I'm going to take that metal off of that frame, and I also have the me-haul bumper outside. I can also use the metal on that to build an adapter so that I can lift the motorcycle up in the air. That's what I'm talking about. See, because this motorcycle, this is a beautiful motorcycle. My wife got such a good deal on it. It sits right down on the ground, and I got a little lid thing down there to catch the drippings. You can't even put a pan underneath it that it's so low to the ground. So on this episode of Fixing Things, we are going to build an adapter that slips over these rails so that we can put a motorcycle on it and lift it up in the air. That way I can get underneath the motorcycle if it doesn't fall on me first. Definitely don't want it to fall on me. So we're going to make this thing tough. I mean tough. So let's go over here and look at this metal. This is a piece of the commercial truck frame. And see this stuff? Man, this stuff here is 3/8 of an inch thick. This stuff is thick. And the frame piece over here, that metal that's going on that stuff is over a 1/2 inch thick. So it was made to lift 7,000 pounds. Right? Well, we only got to lift about 1,000 pounds to lift the motorcycle up. So I'm thinking, what I'm thinking is, out of this, we're going to make something that slips over, wraps around the bumper, wraps around the lift columns. I should be able to swap them out any way I want. And I have a box here that's got a motorcycle front tire gripper thingy here, right? You see them on trailers, and they roll the motorcycle right up onto the trailer, and then it clamps on the front tire and it holds the motorcycle up, right? And we'll also probably put something for some outriggers, just a little extra precaution, some tie down thingy majiggies on it also, so that when you're up on the ramp, when you're up on it, it's not going to want to tilt one way or the other when we're putting some prying pressure on it, right? So let's get with it. Let's get busy. Let's see what we can mess up. Let's do some sketchy stuff today and turn this piece of frame, because I was going to use that to make a press out of. But you know something? Maybe I'll just buy a press. They're cheap. But you can't find something to lift a motorcycle up on this episode of Fixing Things with Pastor Bill. Great time of day. It's going to be a good show today. So we want this thing to be able to slip underneath it and go over the top of this. And that way it has a pad over here for the tire to go up on. That is the plan. And on the other side, it will do the same thing, except it will have the tire latchy thingy on it. Okay, so these are the pieces I'm going to use, these two outside edges, and I'm not going to be using this. Now, I'm not throwing this piece away. This piece right here is actually the bracket that holds my, on the Mihal truck, it's the cross member bracket that holds the back end of the hitch. And on an episode coming up shortly, we're going to be putting that on there when we redo the rear bumper. So we're going to spray these down with some good lube. These things been on this truck for a gazillion years. So we're going to use the impact driver on the thing. I'm just waiting for that piece to fall. Oh my gosh, that's heavy. All right. Scientifically calculate how much we need so it will hold the weight of the motorcycle up. I would say about an inch. That's all we need, right? No, probably need more than that. All right, let's turn these both the same direction. This side's all square. This side's got a lumpy side to it. Don't need that. Oh, there's my tape measure I was looking for. All right, don't need a 3/4 inch wrench. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to be marking this to cut it. I'm going to use this piece of foam rubber because this thing is strong. I'm going to show you how this thing is going to work. We're going to pretend this is the lift arm, and it's going to slide in through here. Pretend that the motorcycle is going to go ride its wheel here, and we will have a strap welded to this piece right here. And what's going to happen is the weight of the motorcycle is going to push down, and this can't come up. And the rubber stopper on the lift is going to be there, so this cannot slide out. So this is bigger than what I need, but we're going to be using the excess that we cut off to make the strap, so it's all the same thickness, same heavy dutiness that we need. So first thing we got to do is mark how much we want to cut off. How much do we think is going to be needed to put pressure down on it? And I'm thinking approximately this much here, which is approximately, looks like about 18 inches. Let's see how good my eye is. 21 inches. My eye's not very good. So let's say let's go 20 inches. Let's cut the difference there. 20 inches. So that 20 inches should be enough. Yeah, 20 inches should be enough. And that's going to give us extra metal to make the other pieces with. So let's do that. Right now, 20 inches is where the end of the, oh my gosh. All right, we're gonna cut, not cutting this thing at 20 inches, okay? We're gonna go past 20 inches, but 20 inches is the length of the rail we want coming in. And then the clamp is gonna go right in this area right here. So if we take, that wasn't supposed to do that. Right in here-ish, roughly, is the length of the rod. But now we don't need this no more. Again, I don't need the board no more. I'll probably need that board again in about 5 minutes. So now we need to determine how much we want to cut off. So the wheel of the motorcycle should go right about here. So what I'm thinning is probably another 12 inches, maybe 11 inches, 10 inches. I guess I need to get that. You don't need much. I need to get the kit over here. All right, so this is the kit that I have. I opened it up just to see what it looked like, and I didn't take it out of the box yet. And so this is the kit that you would hook to your trailer to hook your motorcycle into so the motorcycle doesn't fall down. I guess I'm going to have to read the instructions. And I may be making this thing a little stronger. Goes like that. It's got a little floppy piece on there that comes up when the motorcycle goes over it. It locks it in. It cannot back out. More than likely these go the other way. Goes like that. I'm just thinking. So the only measurement I really need is this plate steel. We'll leave that plate steel up and put the rest of this away. Instrucciones. All right, so this is the width of the, so it's going to go this way. So I got my mark set at 20. So it needs to go right in here-ish. We're going to have to cut out, notch this metal, cut this off right here. So let's make a cut right there. We're going to be cutting it at 31 inches. You all remember that for me. Okay, so here's the platform that the tire sits on, and the weight is going to be off to one side. So this could make this thing rock. So what I need to do is make this thing so it sits in this cradle more on top of the thingy. But what I got to do is I got to cut away the edge where that thing sits. So I got this side up against it. Ooh, that's still hot. We're going to take this much out. And this we can use for the strap. Jeans. Don't put that up against my jeans. Alright, so now we got this piece cut out, and you can see how it's going to have support now. So we're going to tack this on. We got all the edges grinded smooth. This thing is going to be heavy. Alright, I got this all welded up. Fat Daddy, nice welds. And now we're going to weld the plate on. Alright, I'm going to take this piece of scrap and beat it up in here, grind this smooth, and this will be some support so this doesn't bend here. My sawhorses are on fire. My My sawhorses are on fire. My saw always doing sketchy stuff. I thought I smelled something funny. All right. Guess I need to put a piece of metal or something underneath there, you think? All right, now let's take it over to the welder. Not the welder, to the lift. Whew, she's hot. Ugh. All right, so the idea is to have something right over here strapping it, and as the motorcycle weight is on that side, it's cantilever and pushing on this side. So all you got to do is slip it on. That is the idea. Now, will it work? I don't know. We'll give it a try. Let's get some metal over here and see what the straps look like. Whew, I got to get me a soda. All right, so I came up with the plan. Not this plan. So these pins, they just pull out. So if I just put a plate here and try to get it over this, it's not going to work. You can't, there's not enough room there. So what I'm going to do is notch this so it goes tight around this, but gives me enough room to get this pin in. And then once that's in, it can't come out. That's the plan. So I'm going to cut this off and put a notch in it, and then probably put another plate on top of it to reinforce it, because I don't want this joker coming out. So I'm going to go mark this up just like I explained it, take it back over to the burned up saw benches and weld it in place and see what we can do. Thinking, oh, Pastor Bill, that's not enough. We're going to add more metal to this, right? We're going to add, so if I add it over top of that, that's going to be plenty. I got plenty of extra metal that we cut off already. All right, so I'm going to take this over to the table, and I've got to go get me a soda. All right, I got all this welded up. Let's take it over here and see if it fits. Whew, that's hot, even through my glove. So the idea here is that you could just slip it on just like that, then put the pin in so it can't fall down. All right, let's try something shaky now. Something really sketchy. £220. Now I know the motorcycle weighs a lot more than that, but I think we got it. All right, so now let's see if we can't get this part of the hardware put on. And then I'm going to make the other one off camera. And then we're going to try putting it on there. Instrucciones. You know what I need to do? I need to raise this up so I ain't got to bend over. Puppy's coming in here. Hey, Penny. So I'll put them out their beds in here. That way they can come in here and visit. Are you going to get in your bed? Go ahead. You should get in. Go ahead and lay down. Go night-night. Go ahead. Yeah. Oh, there's the duck. Leave the duck alone. Leave the duck alone. Now the duck's going to come in here too, probably. Where's that duck at? Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten this up and fabricate the other one real quick. And I guess we'll try getting the motorcycle on it. Hey, it's been a week since I started the project, and so I had to stop. I could have finished it that night. It was getting dark, and I'm kind of glad I did because I made a mistake. But I had to stop because I had to go vote in the primaries before the polls closed, and it was already getting late in the evening. So let's see the mistake I made, okay? So this side here looks great. This side's great. I gotta do some stuff to keep the rocking to a minimum. I'll probably put a block underneath here. I could probably screw this down. That might even. It just lifts up the. It was an idea, anyways. don't think it's gonna tip over. This one is okay. Yeah, I can put some blocking in here and some blocking in here with some metal. That's not a problem. I got plenty of scrap metal to do that. The issue is with this one, it was getting late, I was getting tired, and I wasn't thinning right. So on the one over there, you drive up on this way, right? So on this one too, I need to drive up this way. I got the ramp on the wrong side. So I need to cut all this off. Actually, I need to cut it right in here somewhere and then block this off. And I need to put the ramp on this side. We'll notch this piece, cut it off here, swing this around, and I'm thinking I have my F600 bumper, the original bumper, not my Fat Daddy bumper. But I think this bumper, which is just a 1/4-inch plate steel, it's not as thick as that 3/8 steel that's in that frame rail we're using, but I think it's good enough to hold the motorcycle for a ramp. So I'm thinking that's what we'll do. I wasn't trying to make this turn into a real long video, but this thing has got to be strong enough to hold the weight of the motorcycle down, and that's what we're looking for. So this side is looking great. I have some old handlebars that came off my motorcycle over here, and I got some risers that came off my wife's motorcycle, original ones, and I'm thinking I can bolt those handlebars on right here, and we can use some tie straps to hold the handlebars so don't have the tilting action of the motorcycle when it's sitting on here. I don't think it's gonna go nowhere. You would have to rip the wheel off the motorcycle. And if the motorcycle's wheels designed the whole motorcycle going around turns and stuff, it should be okay in this. Should be. This stuff saves your nozzles from messing up the tips. All right, let's don't catch the sawhorse on fire. All right, I got the back side of this thing pretty much done. But right here, I got a little piece of metal already ready to go. I cut it and put the notch in it. And we still got to put another piece of metal over top of it. Got to grind all the rust out of it. But I got it ready to weld onto this piece here. Like that. So I'll square it up and weld it on. this is supposed to go in and keep it from sliding off. Alright, so this one has to be square. I may be cutting that one to pieces. Oh my gosh. Alright, I guess I need to measure the motorcycle length. What I'm thinking is I'm going to have to cut this out and just lay all this flat. Cut this one out and lay it over. Alright, center. There's 6 foot right here. So I guess I'm going to have to plasma cut this out. The tire needs to come right through here. And the tire is pretty wide. So Carol's bike's got a wider tire. So we need to come out, at least got to be 10 inches. I may even cut it through here. All right, I did a lot of cutting on it. And now it should be able to rotate so as the different size motorcycles get on it. And the tire just fits inside this. So I need to drill a hole, and I'm just going to try putting a bolt through it. Alright, let's check this thing out. See if it... So now it looks like it pretty much lines up. We get to the center of here-ish. And we can get more than 6 foot. We could probably pull it out. Nope, we cannot, but we can move this one a little bit. guess all we have to do now is roll this motorcycle around and see if this thing will work. Would you put your motorcycle on this? All right, I got the motorcycle over here. First thing first, I want to try to get it onto the ramp over here. I tried rolling it over both. That was not working. So I think I can just drive it up on there. Maybe I can start it up. Hasn't been started in almost a year. The battery tender was on though. All right, I found some ratchet straps. I got the welder back over here. I did not find, I thought I had another handlebar, but I guess I don't. I think I gave it away. That's all right. So, we're gonna weld on that piece of Kendorf down here and hook some ratchet straps to the handlebars, and that should keep it fairly secure. All right, so I'm gonna give it 1.5 inches of clearance off the floor with the 2x4. Find the center. All right, it gives me one hole here, and then I can use a hole out here, and that will hold it down. Now we just gotta weld it. All right, let's take the jack stand up. It's pretty secure. Now we're going to see about getting this tire underneath the... We're going to figure out a better way of doing all this stuff. There she goes. What a shame. This beautiful motorcycle. Look how dirty it is. When I get done with the oil change tomorrow, the oil tube, I'm going to wash her bike up for her. This is a beautiful motorcycle. All right. Let's see if it's working. Let's see if we have success. I don't want to go no higher right now. Oh, we are on there. This thing is tight. Oh, it's working. All right, so the whole idea is to get to this oil tube up in here. And so on the factory motorcycle, the pipes come down here, and here's actually the bracket that holds it on. And since it's got these custom Vance and Hine pipes, they come right down where you can't get. So you gotta get up through here to get to that oil line. And see, it's leaking. I think that's a success. That is a success. Man, I was kind of scared at first, but even if, I don't have to put the motorcycle up on the lift very often, even if I have to keep using the jack to do what I did, that's not it wasn't bad. Just drive it up on the front ramp and then use the jack to lock it down, lift the jack up, slide this one underneath it, and you can get to, you can do the shocks, you can do a bunch of other things. This motorcycle has over a 2.5 inch drop on it. I did that myself. I bought a kit for a 2 inch and dropped it down an extra 1/2 inch. We also lowered the front forks. This motorcycle sits low. And when I tried fixing this thing before, I got a video. You can go back and check it. And I took it off while the oil was running out of it, and I cut the hose as best I could, shoved it back on there and put the hose clamp on it. And it's still leaking. Not leaking like it was, but it's still leaking. But tomorrow we're gonna drain the oil out. You can get to the drain plug and put a drain pan here. Man, this is awesome. Look at that motorcycle up there. That is a motorcycle lift, right? Now, a lot of guys, they have the tables, right? You still can't get to the junk underneath, even with the table, right? So the correct way of replacing this oil drain hose is to remove the pipes and take the battery out and probably dismantle you got to take the whole motorcycle apart. Now, all I gotta do is get here with the screwdriver, pry it off, take it off of this one up here. Done. And I got myself a motorcycle lift. That thing fits in there snug. It's tight up on the front. I'll probably come up with some little better way of doing. I'm not so happy with that, but I got to get this thing done tomorrow. I got to work on my daughter's trailer. I got a surprise for her. We're going to install a high output LED. She says it's dark in there. The little 12 volt lights in her RV is not putting out much light. We removed the AC unit and we put a skylight on there. So I'll show you what we got done and how we did that tomorrow. And we're gonna give her a surprise. So stay tuned for that one. Hey, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That motorcycle's up in the air. This is something, if you got a 2-post lift, you might come up with something better than what I did. But if you have a 2-post lift, there you go right there. I seen other ones. Nothing like this. They all have something they go across and you right. Oh, that scared me. And you still can't get underneath the motorcycle because they use the center of the frame. Every one I've seen. So this is different. This one here uses the tires. Now if I need to, I can slide these things over, lift the motorcycle up on the frame also. That way I can get to the back tire. If I want to do the front tire, probably drive it in there backwards, I guess. I don't know. I didn't think of everything. Actually, you've seen I didn't think of everything because I messed up and had to fix it. But it works out good. That's better than what I had planned anyway. And it's holding up. And that's piece of my frame to my F-350, my dually, the Mihal truck. I don't waste nothing. I keep using stuff. Hey, God bless each and every one of you. I'll see you tomorrow on my next episode of Fixing Things with Pastor Bill. Dude, did you see this thing? This thing is bad. I'd probably push it all the way up to the ceiling. Man, I can't believe it. I can't. It turned out better than I thought. I'll fix it. I'll do something better. If I gotta go buy some handlebars to make it look cool, maybe I got those things somewhere. That looks good. All right, I got some mess to clean up and lower this thing down because I don't want it sitting that high up in the air overnight. It ain't going nowhere. That thing is right. Good. Good. All right. God bless you. See you on the next episode of Fixing Things. Awesome.